So, Sunday afternoon on Fox League underway. Bulldogs and Sea Eagles, and Kepi with the first run of the match. Back over the 10-metre line. And followed up by Trbojevic. The Sea Eagles with those 10 or 9 wins and the golden point draw, wasn't it? Against Newcastle round 5, unbeaten through those matches, but a 90-minute draw is on the record sheet as well. An early drop ball from Kohler. Chance there for Wilson. They could have latched onto that. Canterbury, they just about score. If that comes cleanly, we have a try inside a minute.
Yeah, I reckon you're right there. It was Avarillo there. It was in the open space. Just the bounce of the ball, just bounced away from him. It's amazing the style of footy you start to play when the pressure's off. Manly tried to spread the ball in their own half here. That's Avarillo there, right in the shot. If he picks the ball up cleanly, it's all over. He's got speed. Yeah,
so no Tom Trbojevic, no Ruben Garrick. Now they work their way down to Kohler as fullback, just his third start in the position. Canterbury golden chance early in the game. Marnie taking them left side, so you've got a 22 and a 24 out here for Canterbury today. Hayes Perham in jumper 22, Paul Alamotti in 24, Kiraz and Burns the casualties. Thompson on that run, 12 metres out. There's another one that we haven't seen much of this year. Now Sexton, inside ball, and Edwards will be called to play it 10 metres out. Just to get the crowd involved early. Switch of play, Sexton. That is the 4th tackle for Canterbury. Marty looks up, doesn't pass, now he does. Sexton, he did the same. They both balked at letting the ball go. Last tackle play for Canterbury. Marty will attack the short side. Just a straight carry on the last. Corey Waddell, well, surely they're going to... Here I was saying, I hope they have a red-hot crack today, and then first chance, last tackle play, go hitter.
Yeah, surely you've got to put some pressure on and try and get to your kickers there. And that was a poor... Unless they forgot what tackle it was the last. Waddell got caught. The Bulldogs jump off their line there inside the 10 metres. Manly get the first penalty. Just
confirming Perham playing fullback and Avarillo out at right centre for Canterbury. We will go down to the sideline for the first time today. Matt Russell, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everybody. You've touched on it. Glorious late winter conditions here at Accor Stadium. We wonder whether Canterbury packed their shoulders today, giving up more than 30 points per game, missing more than 50 tackles last week in the capital. How do they apply themselves defensively today against the likes of Hamola Olakau'atu? Blocker, you mentioned it. Played every game this season for Manly, averaging nearly 120 run metres. His battle with Viliami Kikau, just one of the positional matchups today of intrigue.
Now Arthur, good line set up for Manly there, bit of depth. Cole was certainly quick, we know that. And now Croker, Arthur, Trbojevic. That is Burbo. It will be a big day for the family, for Jake. So good that the milestone match is back home. And that is Friday night against the Tigers. Last tackle for Manly here, 41 metres away. Harrison Edwards got all tangled up there with Kepi. Back away for Arthur. Nice and high, the Fox is with it at O'Carr. And some strong defence on the Fox, who's actually without a try. He's so due. His last try for the Bulldogs was round 14 against the Roosters.
Yeah, and the first man down there to make that front-on tackle, Lachlan Croker, always leads the way for Manly. He's one to watch here this afternoon. Doesn't get the raps he should. He's a wonderful front-on defender.
Burton kick out, quick hands, Alamotti, and O'Carr's got a chance to run. Sherry Evans kept him in his sights. Actually, we didn't really see Josh Fine top speed there, did we? Now Marty letting it go for Sexton, Waddell, Avarillo to Wilson. Nice step on the inside of Parker. Manly was offside, so a set restart for Canterbury. Avarillo to Wilson. Lovely move. Canterbury will get the first try. Short side play. And Corey Waddell scores the try. That was really clever work. Averillo and Wilson, and Waddell the 4-pointer.
Yeah, that was good football there from the Bulldogs. They made a break over the left-hand side through Addo Carr. He was run down by Daly Cherry Evans. They spread the ball right across the field. Then they just stuck in that little channel. Waddell gets the spoils to score the try. But this is clever play. One man left on the ground. Some ball playing here. Wilson goes straight through. A great offload. Stayed alive, Waddell. And the Bulldogs, with some good footy to open up the scoring here this afternoon. Averillo in the dummy half. Just held the pass up nicely. Drew in Parker. And then Wilson takes off. Poor attempt to tackle there from Arthur. And Waddell just stays alive. Any number of Bulldogs could have scored that try. That's a wonderful opening after a couple of mistakes here from the Manly side to start the game. The Bulldogs are in.
Only the 7th try of his career, Corey Waddell, and 4 of them have come this season. Over to Burton, first kick of the day. Canterbury off and running and leading 6-0, and there's a very earnest conversation going on in goal with the Manly players. 6.5 minutes gone.
Been a tough season, hasn't it, for Canterbury, but a bright spot has been the emergence of Blake Wilson. Made his debut round 11 against the Warriors. This is his 10th game of the season. Scored 5 tries, setting one up here. Cameron Ciraldo said pre-game, we're going to name our best team each week. We want to win each of these remaining 2 games, and that should be a lift to Blake Wilson, that his coach is backing the likes of him as a prospect, a bright one for 2024.
Noosa Pirates Jr. They've also got the Biwa Bulldog in Reed Marnie in their side, so Sunshine Coast represented here. We had a long chat after the try, like almost as if, okay, we haven't turned up here, switch on now.
Yeah, that's the hard part about it. You can't switch on all of a sudden here. It's a good start here from the Bulldogs.
Oh, Cherry Evans bounced over the head, and Addo Carr was there to recover.
See what I do like about Wilson with the headgear there on the
wing. Ball came loose, sorry, block. They get out of it, Canterbury. They get out of it in a big way after Thompson lost it. Now Averillo, he's off and running again. Back to you, Block.
Yeah, he does do everything at 100 miles an hour too. He's a fine prospect. Just takes the ball out of dummy half now, straight into the teeth of the Manly side.
Could have been anything back near the line, but look at the recovery mission. They end up 40 metres downfield. Maybe their science. This is going to be Canterbury's day early. Another ball comes out the back. I think they've tapped into the Parramatta playbook from the other night. Just keep offloading. So now Marnie, pushed over by Kepi. And a set restart, quite obviously the call. Now Averillo, Edwards and Thompson. In front on by Croker. Now Marnie, Burton, kick out there. What an edge it is, we just haven't seen enough. Burton, kick out, further out, Addo Carr. Burton again. Marnie, this time with Edwards. Arthur had moved up and shut down the play on the outside. Still tackles up the sleeve of Canterbury. With it is Sexton, right to the line. Waddell with it. And held up on play number 5. Sexton is calling for it. He's got it now and set for the kick. Puts it up for Saab to leap high. Right over the top, and a penalty Bulldogs.
Yeah, the escort runner there. It looks like it was Alamotti there. Catching goal, the penalty.
Okay, pick out what they got there.
I think you'll find it was Harper just threw his arm out there to stop one of the chasers coming through. And Alamotti, all the pressure on Manly.
He was saying, well, I've got to look into the sun if I come straight at, so I turn side. That was his defence. Morgan Harper, 8 metres away from the line. Marnie will take another charge up close to the line with Liam Knight, a try scorer last week against the Raiders. Now Marnie, Edwards, Burton, kick out, back inside, Sexton. This is some serious heat on Manly early here. 6-0 scoreline. Marnie will have a crack himself, and Marnie has scored for Canterbury. The bunker will check it. The ball's on the deck. No try the call.
Knocks the ball on before grounding it on the line.
Yeah, only to the line at best, but almost embarrassed Manly there if he gets away with it.
We only need a little bit of chalk on it, Andrew. He's a gutsy, courageous player. Trbojevic goes to strip the ball. Here's the put down. He's short.
Reed Marnie loses possession of the ball short of the goal line.
End of the section.
Decision.
End of the section. Drop ball short of the line. Inconsequential whether part of the ball ended up touching part of the line.
Time on.
Close call though. Gee, you can see the try. Goal line defence under the black dot.
Yeah, he's a courageous little fella, isn't he, Marnie? He tries his heart out week in and week out. He misses a fair few tackles, but he tries to take big 110 kilo blokes on, front on. He's out of the scrum here.
So Manly will feel rather relieved at not being 12-0 down there. And the Seagulls with Parker. Now Arthur, Vainga rather in the side again for Manly today. They've worked their way through some injuries. The Seagulls, both sides can tell stories of injuries. Bulldogs more so. And now straight through the centre. Big charge, Sipley. Have a look at him. That's a great tackle by Perham. Sipley, a clean line break. Now Manly get their go. Well, this is what we wanted to see. The two sides attacking football. I don't know whether either coach all that happy about the defence to this point. Arthur's bomb. Perham now back there, leaping high and getting the ball in advance of Cheriev.
Gee, that was some run from Sipley too. Got himself in really good nick this season. What a runner he was after he busted the tackles. You've got to ask where the support was. It's another reason that Manly are a little bit down. Someone makes a break like that, someone's got to be right next to him to try and receive the ball. What a run.
Yeah, what would he be, 110? I mean, looked really light on his feet the way he was moving.
Well, he was a lot bigger last year. He's got himself in good nick. That was a great run. Might get Manly right back in the game here, although they've given the football back to the Dogs. A run like that can encourage everyone.
This was the penalty. Just calling it a high shot. And Canterbury as a result. It's your typical piggyback upfield. And Liam Knight pushed back. His fourth game for the Bulldogs for Liam Knight.
Don't hold him, Liam. You're holding him, taking him out of play. Square up, Jake.
All right, so little...
Well, if you hold him, take him out of play, you should be penalised, shouldn't you?
Plenty of viewers would agree with you, Block. Canterbury in possession, 9 metres short of halfway. Bright opening to the game, 11 and a bit gone. Here's Burton. Full house at Newcastle to come later today on Fox League with the Knights and the Sharks doing battle. Canterbury a bit messy at dummy half there. Marty's off and running again. Out it comes. Kept the line from Perham to Wilson. He's off again. He doesn't pass. Oh, he didn't give it back to his skipper. Reed Marty is saying, what's doing? I could have caught and scored. The two blokes with the headgear. Across with Avarillo, puts a kick in. The outside players do nothing of it. Saab has ended up with it. They get a line drop out, but Blake Wilson go over and have a chat and meet Reed Marty, your captain.
Well, Reed Marty's still having a conversation with him, saying, mate, give us the ball. I'm there, back on the inside. Striding down, he beats the Parker tackle. I thought he did well to hang on. He might have overrun it there, Marnie.
Yeah, he could have done sort of back a little. But there you have it. I mentioned the two products of the Sunshine Coast could have combined. Sherry Evans, this is coming to vogue. The short dropout straight down the middle, big bat back. Sexton gets to it for Canterbury. Down the middle where you don't necessarily have your best leapers. You're seeing it more and more. Knight to play at 21 metres away from the line. Marnie, and on that right edge for Waddell, getting a lot of touches early. Still a chance of back-to-back tries, Canterbury. Sexton, front of the posts. Edwards down, just metres short of the line. Marnie, Burden, there's kick out. The lead runner. Bullish in the run, held by Olakoatu. Some big bodies. Last tackle, Burton's kick, looking to get it right across the face. A lovely leap from Arthur for a 7-tackle set. Look out, he might take off all the way. This bloke can run. Kohler, if he went a little wider there, Manly could have been well and truly away. Vaenga it was who got it. Vaenga played the man rather than run to the space, I thought. He's on halfway. Trbojevic simply just pushing it along.
That's it, mate. Let go.
Referee Kennedy has his hands full early. Knee raise here. Oh, geez. Don't think I'd be advising that is the best way to keep your spot in first grade.
I reckon they might have a look at that during the week. Game's hard enough without that sort of raised knees.
So now, best chance of the game for Manly. Full set, 20 metres out from the line. Arthur, along for Kepi. Matty Russell highlighted the woes of the Canterbury defence this year. Let's see them hold Manly out here. Jake Trbojevic, good tackle. Marnie, quick play the ball. Here's the opportunity right side with Olakau'atu. Goes short to Harper. They call it forward. Sideline official got some help from the Canterbury players.
It was a nice tackle too from Alamotti. Grassing tackle. The ability to get on the outside there. Harper, look at that. It's called back for a forward pass, but what a tackle, one-on-one.
Go, Dogs, clock's on, let's go.
Just a little bit off, aren't they? Manly players just waiting for someone else to do something rather than all getting on board. Only the one offload from them so far.
On the bench there, Gordon Chankung-Tung. There he is, 21-year-old, will have his first minutes in the National Rugby League today. Wish him well.
I reckon he's got 70 family here. Imagine going to the club and saying, look, I want 70 tickets.
You'd hope they all buy a hot dog. If he gets a game at 4 Points Park, he's had a stellar junior rep career. Here they are. That's fantastic, isn't it? That stellar junior rep career at Manly, now getting a chance in first grade. And we've called him in the schoolboy football before for Westfield Sports High. So another of their alumni to play first grade. Canterbury with that offloading mentality. Waddell, just pass in any fashion you can. A few offloads now have just been rolled out or bounced out. With it is Knights. And last play for Canterbury. Burton is the kicker this time. Sets himself to go a conventional trajectory down to Kohler. Manly back with the ball now. They've only had 35% of possession early, so they'd like a little flow of it. And just 2 tackles inside the Canterbury 20. Canterbury, on the other hand, have had 16 inside Manly's 20 zone for the 1 try so far and 1 disallowed. Harper to play it here. Cherry Evans. Jink and up right. Olakau'atu gets the pass right. Here goes Kohler. Support outside. Good night there. Saab with the ball. And a beautifully constructed Manly try that included their speed men, Kohler and Saab.
Well, I'll tell you what they can do, the Manly side, and we've seen it time and time again this season, score long-range tries. Got that speed. Kohler, way exploded on the ball. Was Daly Cherry Evans out of dummy half. The Bulldogs defence didn't come up hard enough. Held it up beautifully. Kohler straight through. And once Saab got the ball, it was all over. Maybe that is the point now that's needed for the Manly side to lift. It's been a poor, lazy start from them. Kohler straight through. Saab, once he got the football, it's all over. Just like that, Manly are straight back in it.
He has 3 career hat-tricks, Jason Saab. One of those is against Canterbury. If he gets this sort of service today, he could be in for a few more. He's all ready. Hands positioned. Possibly the longest legs in the competition belong to Jason Saab. 11th try of the season. And with no Ruben Garrick today, skipper becomes the first choice goal kicker, Daly Cherry Evans. He has 7 goals this year, Daly. The first one from 10 metres in from touch, and he's taken it back about 22 metres out. I think it's going to take over 30 points to win today, based on what we've seen. Cherry Evans off the upright and over. Nicely done, DCE. 6-all scoreline.
The try finished by Jason Saab, Andrew, set up by Tolu Kohler, though. He's their fourth string fullback today. Tom Drabojevic out injured, Ruben Garrick out injured, Kaio Weeks suspended. So over to you, Tolo, who's played left centre, right centre. Nice involvement there as a fullback. And at the Olympic Stadium, fitting, we have a couple of speed merchants combining. Kohler to Saab.
And down Addo Carr's side as well. 6-all scoreline, kick close to the sideline. Vega wasn't able to put himself in a position to take it out on the full there, but it was close. Now Arthur, field for Sipley. Jacob Arthur playing his 5th game for Manly today, appears to have slotted in fairly well. Try scorer last week against the Warriors. Now Cherry Evans, Olakuatu, some risk involved. Swarming Bulldogs defence on Kohler there, Burton and Addo Carr. Manly on their 20. Now Olakuatu. So the only minutes he missed were the 10 minutes. He's actually played 80 minutes a game, yet hasn't played every minute this year, because the 10 minutes he was sin-binned was the 90-minute draw. So he has played every game and played 80 minutes in each. What a trivia question years down the track, Olakuatu. I doubt there's been any player in history that could boast the numbers he has in terms of minutes. As we highlighted, Manly unbeaten 5 of 7 games. They had the draw and 4 wins in the first 7 rounds and have only won 5 since. It'd be disappointing when you play, you know, they look at the draw. They're playing the Bulldogs and Tigers, 2 of the bottom 3 sides. There's an intercept kick out for Cherry Evans to back himself, with Saab looming up. It's Manly against Bulldogs and Tigers to finish the season, and they can win both and not make the finals.
He's got that great ability, Cherry Evans, defensively and in an attack, to be at the right spot at the right time.
Taking the tap there, hoping Canterbury had turned their backs. Manly now inside the Bulldogs 20. So Croker for Arthur, out the back for Kohler. Nice move, Kohler too good. Oh, that is the cabbage leaf defence offered by Canterbury. Obstruction is the call.
No try. Just confirm the lead runner.
It all did happen a little easy. I still think someone was entitled to make a tackle on Kohler.
Yeah, I think someone tripped over here, did they? Let's have a look at the lead runners here. It's Arthur that goes
Looking
to
at
the
runner,
line.
Toff Sipley.
Is it Sipley? Well, you know what?
Toff
I reckon,
Sipley makes contact with Corey Waddell, and the defensive line is
is
disadvantaged.
it Liam Knight or Corey Waddell?
Have a decision.
If you have
He
a look
moved
at it
to
again,
Corey Waddell moved to him rather
well,
than...
he puts his arms around him. You can't do that. He hasn't got the ball. That's a tough call.
Yeah, I'm with you, Block. He's overread the play and gone and moved towards Sipley to take him. I know if you've got a lead runner in front, then they've got no right
But watch
to
him
play.
put his arm around him here. Look, you can't do that.
Anyway, they get denied the try. Grabbed him, but Kohler then takes the gap where the player has been interfered. So by the consistency, no try, but you could put up an argument and say that it was poor defence.
Well, it all comes down to the Bulldogs not getting to their end of their sets here. It was an impossible pass from kick out that really put Manly on the attack. When you saw Daly Cherry Evans intercept, you've got to get to their kick.
You saw a shot there of Jaden Ockenbaugh. He'll take someone's eye out with his ponytail today. That's the stiffest ponytail we've ever seen.
Bit of hairspray on it.
Well, you know what I mean? They check studs before the game still block. I'd be checking his hair. He's come out. It's a little stiff. Now the ball with Hayes Perham. Ockenbaugh, who this week it was announced is off to the Super League with Hull. Now Sexton looking to poke through the gap there. Jake Drabojevic the tackle. Last for Canterbury. Now for Burden. Looks outside. Wilson is the designated catcher. Straight back, Manly ball. Not enough depth on the kick, not coming down close to the goal line. Had a few rather meek ends to their sets today, Canterbury. Now Parker, here it was, clean catch. And straight back to Jacob Arthur. Bullymore out there for Manly, been very consistent. He's only missed the one match this year.
He's got great leg speed too, Bullymore.
Kicking here.
Quickly.
Here's your stab at 40-20 from Croker. He's got it. He's kicked his 4th for the year. Both the dummy halves are good at it that are on show today, and Croker fires first. They celebrate that. All right, boys, turn it into something.
And what it does, takes a bit of pressure off Daly Cherry Evans too. If you've got a bloke who can kick out a dummy half like that. Here comes Manly again.
Now the Bullymore play number 1. So Croker, 4 40-20s for the year, equaling Marnie at the top of the charts. Cherry Evans, and then run. Addo-Carr forced in. That left Saab unmarked. Cole has been very dangerous. Manly Croker for Trbojevic. 13 metres from the line, 17 remaining first half. Now Croker. Forward! And forward was the call, the Canterbury defence. Did I say cabbage leaf before? This time it's a wet paper towel.
Is that Sipley again?
Well, there's no obstruction there, but Sipley has crashed through the turnstiles.
He's probably been their best so far in this game for the Manly side. After a slow start, he was the one that made a 30-metre break a little bit earlier. So you shouldn't be able to score this close. There's the 40-20 from Croker. Beautifully timed. And from the ensuing tap, they score the try. Sipley it is. The right-hand side. He's had some soft defence.
Oh,
Liam Knight didn't chase hard enough from marker.
Sipley.
Look at that.
Like, you can boo all you like if you thought forward pass, but come on, what about the defence? Like, seriously, you know, you can't blow up if you thought the pass was marginally forward when you have 3 players that can still make a tackle.
And you know, Andrew, it's the easiest tackle in the game, chasing from marker there. Just duck under the ball. You can make the tackle around the thighs. He just got pushed away there. Liam Knight didn't chase hard enough. Not aggressive enough with his defence from marker, and Sipley straight through. He's looking in good nick.
You have to call what you see, but that's some of the worst goal line defence I think we've seen this year. That was horrible from Canterbury. And Cherry Evans successful 2 from 2.
Well, that's the way to run too when you're that close to the line. Look at the size of him. Got leg speed too. Big break earlier on in the first half, and now a try. Here's the first one. Look at that tackle buster. Where's the support, you'd be asking? Got a great fend too, and that's the way to run onto the football.
Yeah, no, again, I'll stand by it. Like, it should be pulled up. That's a forward pass. But then, you know, you can be angry about the call. What about the defence? Like, seriously? But yes, big question mark on the pass. Burton from the restart. Now Bullymore. So Sea Eagles having trailed 6-0. Now it is Manly up by 6. Jake Trbojevic still only had 44% of the ball, Manly, and a 9 of 12 completion rate. No shortage of line breaks this afternoon, but occasionally have lacked the polish to finish. Canterbury will feel the Reid Marnie one. He'll feel as if he should have had a try. Marnie lost the ball also short of the line. Last tackle, Sea Eagles. There's the line break count, 7 so far. Cherry Evans long, and a car back. Knocks it down to his fullback, Hayes Perham. And Canterbury begin a set inside their 20. Won their most recent game here. That was round 19 against South Sydney. That was a beauty, that contest through the origin period. But they've had only 3 wins here this year. And in total, it's by a combined 7 points. So if they win here, it's more than likely going to be close. Ockenbaugh playing it there. Now to Burton on the kick out, and quickly along from Alamotti to Addo-Carr. I don't know whether Josh is 100%. Doesn't seem to be finding top gear at all today.
Yeah, he just doesn't hit top gear. He's having a couple of opportunities here in the first half. Gully Cherry Evans ran him down a little bit earlier. Didn't break into stride.
Sexton, floating pass, Wilson. Nice moves there from Blake Wilson. Trapped by 4, still offloaded. Canterbury get the ball, and there you go. There's another end of your set.
Well, we've seen it a couple of times with the Bulldogs, getting tackled on the last tackle. Where are the halves taking control to come in there and try and put extra pressure on the opposition? It hasn't happened for them a couple of times. And that's a bad turnover, you know. Straight away on the attack now, Manly received the ball on the halfway line because they couldn't get to their kick.
Let's look at that replay we showed you there of Josh Addo-Carr. It looked just awkward. It looked uncomfortable. He's battling on out there. Left wing for Canterbury. Now Trbojevic. And that's called forward to Aaron Woods. They've got a forward pass, and the Canterbury fans cheer. And that was sloppy from Manly that time.
Yeah, not a great inclusion straight away. Your first touch there from Aaron Woods. Oh, jeez. Imagine it. When his hands were facing backwards. Anyway.
Woodsy just on for Toff Sipley. What a first stint it was, that try, yes, but 7 carries, more than 80 run metres, 5 tackle busts, couple of line breaks. He'll be keen to get back out there with numbers like that.
Well, why would you replace him? Leave him out there.
Yeah, I'm with you.
You're on fire.
Great stats. So Canterbury inside their own half here. And Max King on the run. And there's another Canterbury offload. They've had 6 of them. 6 to Manly's 1 so far. And then the Bulldogs turn it over.
Well,
and the Bulldogs fans getting a little uneasy in their seats here.
It's a great tackle. Olakau'atu on Marnie. He would have looked up and went, oh no, he just got smothered. What a shot it was. Loosened up the ball. Manly get the football back.
It's the Canterbury performance that's inconsistent within the 28.5 minutes. There's been some really good play, and then there's been some dire play, and then there's nothing in between, it seems. Tawita Pengai getting ready to come on. Cherry Evans, Harper. A little swerve, almost got him through the line. He's doing some pointing there. Referee Kennedy just says, play the ball, Morgan. Now Cherry Evans out of 2 tackles. Last play for Manly, so that takes Cherry Evans out. Arthur gets in position to kick. Here he is, Jacob Arthur. He'll look for Vaenga, and getting through is Parker, and getting through Ben Trbojevic. He may have knocked it back at a try for Bullymore. The ball was all over the place.
Confirm the knock on, but just make sure there's no escorts in the lead up, please.
Okay, it could go either way. At the very least, maybe even a penalty for Manly.
Gee, chased hard there too. Ben Trbojevic.
Kick chasers on the left.
They're all onside.
Onside.
It's whether he gets his hands on the ball and knocks it backwards here.
Yeah, Ben Trbojevic gets a clean run to the ball.
Okay, so we eliminate escort out of the play, it seems.
Ben Trbojevic makes contact with the ball, just determining which direction it goes.
There he is, Ben Trbojevic.
It's hard to tell because he keeps going forward there.
Well, it's travelled forward from where he touched
Ben
it.
Trbojevic knocks the ball towards his opponent's dead ball line.
Yeah.
Have a decision.
No try for Ethan Bullymore, so Canterbury will hang on.
Just goes to show if you're determined with the chase and you chase as hard as you can, you're always a chance.
The crowd cheered there because Gordon Chan Kumtung stood up from his chair on the sideline. Now they're getting excited just catching a glimpse of him out of his chair. Kick out goes to the bench for Canterbury, but young Gordon might be not too many minutes away from coming on in the big show, the NRL. He's up, he's got card number 3. And the 80 free tickets, they're getting vocal. I've got a nickname for him already, GCKT. They've got plenty of DCEs and JWHs and DWZs. If he scores, I'm locking in GCKT. Here he is, big moment.
And I heard about the family motto too. Doubt not, fear not.
Love it.
I love it.
Back away for Sexton. To bomb. That's a beauty. He might find the space here. No one's even looking at it. Unbelievable. The Canterbury chasers weren't looking at the ball. It's allowed to bounce, and Manly come up with it. Chankum took this on for Manly. There he is. Good luck to you, Gordon. Welcome to the NRL. Great support. Maenga in from the wing. Here he goes. He's going to take off and get on the front foot. Trbojevic follows through. That's a good start. So to the left side for Arthur. This is a good set, Manly. Really direct. Last tackle, Sea Eagles. Leading by 6. Now Cherry Evans, bomb from 40 metres out. Floating bomb, Addo-Carr underneath it. Goes low. In the end, gets it about 40 centimetres off the ground.
It's not a bad tactic when you're playing against Addo-Carr. Put the ball up in the air and contest. Don't let him get any broken field running. That's probably why they're kicking to that side as well. There's the sun on that side. Good take there by Addo-Carr.
Sunday ticket here on Fox League. We're off to Newcastle after this one. The Knights and the Sharks, which is a pretty important jigsaw puzzle piece in this race for the finals. With it is Pengai. We'll be going again from Thursday night with Brisbane against Melbourne. Jerome Hughes unlikely to play for Melbourne in that one. Tony Staggs, we know, facing suspension. There's a fair bit happening in NRL with injury and potential suspensions. Kohler got it, lost it. Canterbury have a chance. Knock on Manly, 10 metres out from the line. There'll be no challenge.
Well, that was a little bit better. You talk about challenge. It's a good chase through by the Bulldogs. Right in the middle third of the field. Poor old Kohler. Up he goes. Burton was the man who put the kick downfield. He contests the ball. Kohler knocks on. Here's their chance. Right in the middle of the park. See if they can come up with a scrum play here. The Bulldogs, what have they been working on?
Set up, Burton left, Averillo rights. They'll come left. To Burton's side, he takes the run himself. Manly are back on their goal line, and would you believe it, he's lost it on play 1.
Just wait. Hey.
Oh dear.
It's a knock on. It's a knock on.
Cameron
Do you want
Serraldo.
a challenge?
And they're going to challenge it. They're firing a challenge.
They did all the hard work to get the ball back.
Bulldogs are challenging the decision of a knock on.
All right. 7 minutes away from half time. Kennedy had a good view of it.
Manly defenders are just attempting a tackle.
That's
Matt
idea.
Burton knocks the ball on.
I think
The
that's,
challenge is
I think that's
unsuccessful.
even worse when the captain's challenge is by the captain and they get it wrong. That hurts. So
A
that's
little bit of
good.
an embarrassment call there. Embarrassed to lost the ball there on the first tackle. 0 tackle, really.
Canterbury's attack inside the Manly 20. It's 20 or 17 tackles they've now had inside Manly's 20. And just the one try. So Manly from that scrum. Parker. Trbojevic ready for a run. He's another one that's been hampered by injury this year. He's a very good player, Ben Trbojevic, but just his 11th game for the season now. Arthur off Chankum Tung, and then on for Kohler. Chankum Tung slipped into first receiver here. He's lively. Here he is, first receiver. And across to Trbojevic, then Cherry Evans. Malakuatu with no depth about the run there. Got it flat-footed. Manly with Aaron Woods up over halfway, playing a team that he played his first match in the NRL way back in 2011 with the Tigers. Cherry Evans, a late decision to kick. Got it round behind Addo-Carr, and over the sideline it goes.
Yeah, it showed his experience there too, Aaron Woods, with that run in behind the play the ball. Quick play the ball on the front foot. Cherry Evans comes away with the kick. Been around a long time now, Aaron. 15-odd tests for Australia.
Got a few tracksuits in the wardrobe, hasn't he? When you go back to the Tigers days, it's a long time ago, but 2011 was his debut with the Tigers against Canterbury, and then a few clubs in between. Canterbury, one of them, along the way. It wasn't exactly a much celebrated stint at Canterbury, it must be said. Now, Pengai. Betting man, plenty of people thinking he will return to rugby league, but we'll wish him well in the meantime in boxing.
Gee, it'll be a long time in boxing before you can earn the same money that you're earning in footy, but take a big pay cut.
Now Burton across with Sexton. Averillo, good tackle there from Parker. Scything defence. Stopped him in his tracks there. This time with Perham over halfway. Last tackle, Canterbury. Marnie back for Burton. Can he get a special? He can. A Burton bomb. Here it comes, and no chance. It goes over Kohler's head by 8 metres. It goes dead. Well, there you go. Kohler, I thought when you say 1,000,000 to 1 and you mean it literally, he was 1,000,000 to 1 to catch that.
Well, the other thing too, he was standing there in the right position for 10 seconds before it come down.
That's right. He could have rolled a cigarette. Pierre Aubert style, the Frenchman, many years ago. So Manly 10 metres short of halfway. Now to Ben Trbojevic.
Run.
Well, it's been a while, but the Burton bomb. Now Jake Trbojevic, Cherry Evans, Kohler. Break out in the cold sweat when Burton got the ball there, but he's recovered again. Cherry Evans back for Woods. Match lacking a little bit of intensity at the moment. Probably needs a score right now to really open it up. Arthur back in for Jake Trbojevic. It's a bit going through the motions here. 3.5 away from half time.
Well, they're very flat-footed, the Manly side. No one's got any depth in their run. Simply went off, and that's been it for them. Getting deep and running onto the football.
Cherry Evans will bomb. Sabers getting through. It's a little too deep. The leap was from the field of play, and it'll be a line dropout for Canterbury. Still a good catch from Alamotti.
Geez, the line breaks are there for you if you're willing to get deep and run on the ball. A bit of enthusiasm. As I said, they're just passing for the sake of passing. The Manly side, no depth in their running onto the ball. Get their chance again now.
I just think if Manly was to score that next, that'll force Canterbury to be a bit more adventurous, perhaps. Manly will switch on. But at the moment, they're not in top gear. Short drop out, knocked back. Kohler's got another touch for Manly. So 2.5 to go first half. Just 3 tries scored. Jankum Tong to Trbojevic for Woods. Seagulls 10 metres away from the line. Here's the young fella for Cherry Evans for Arthur. Floating pass will get him a try. And here it comes. Vaenga gets over. Wilson couldn't get enough of a shot on the winger. And Manly have their 3rd try with some nice work right to left.
Yeah, Vaenga still had a bit of work to do there. Got down nice and low, powerfully built, low to the ground. Second man play again from the Manly side. Kohler adds his pace in, just got him caught a little bit flat-footed, Wilson. Vaenga gets a little bit down, a little bit lower, gets under. He's a powerful runner, dips that shoulder. And Manly have been a little bit flat-footed here in the first half. Get themselves another try and get further in front.
Wilson threw all he could at it, and it did not knock Vaenga a centimetre sideways. He's just a brick, you know what. I mean, he is solid, isn't he? He's rock solid. Their fair legs are ham on him, and now he's got an NRL try, and he's pretty happy about it, and so he should be. Well done, Raymond. 6th game for the year. Cherry Evans has got one from the sideline for 18-6. So, as I said, it's a little twisted in my thinking, but I'm hoping that the try switches Canterbury on. Plan A, you've tried. It hasn't been that good. So let's go to plan B and do something else. Let's hope there is a plan B.
I think the biggest problem for them in the first half is a couple of times, well, at least 3 occasions they've been caught on the last without getting to their kick. and just turning the ball over too easily for Manly. You've got to put pressure on, mount some pressure. Haven't been able to do it after a good start from the Dogs. Manly are starting to get in a rhythm.
The halftime chat, you've got to call Sexton and Burton first and say, boys, run the show with you. Cherry Evans needs a bit of fade. He glanced it up right there. First miss for the day, 16-6. Manly-Warringah has his first try in the NRL, always a massive moment. Debut last year, round 24 against the Raiders, 23 years of age. And he gets a try against Wilson in just his 10th game of first grade. So the Bulldogs have 34 seconds. Will they risk a short kickoff, try and get it back? No, they won't. Burton goes standard. What about Manly? Do they have a quick shot, maybe a kick for Saab? Saab is right over on the right touchline, as wide as he could possibly be. You know how, and there it is. Cherry Evans has got a kick. Jason was a bit back in the blocks, to be honest. And Addo Carr goes back for it. I think Cherry Evans would be a bit disappointed that Saab wasn't taking off.
He looked a little bit too deep, didn't he?
Well,
could have started off nice and flat. Cherry Evans generally takes a couple of steps.
20-40 probably more the tactic, but Saab was out there anyway. By the by, nothing much happened. And a good first half, but still a lot of football left out there by Manly. They will be happy to lead by 10. At the break, Manly 16, Canterbury 6. It is a 10-point margin going into the second half of this one. Manly against the Bulldogs. Sunny winter's afternoon. We'll have the last day of winter, Thursday night rugby league. Then we go into spring and decide the top 8. Brisbane, Melbourne kick off next week, Thursday. Daly Cherry Evans, the key figure of all things good for Manly.
Yeah, after a good start there from the Bulldogs, it was Daly Cherry Evans that got them right back into the game. I mentioned it before the game, all his involvement, just his professionalism there to get out there and try and get the Manly side home. They've only been tackled 9 times in the opposition's 20, so that could change around. They lead 16 points to 6. Now, Matt Burton, if you're getting the big bucks and the big money, you're entitled to run the football. You can't just sit back and kick the ball on the last. He's a big name player in this Bulldog side, and I only say this because I know how good he can be. He's a big body. He needs to run the ball. He was disappointing in the first half.
I agree. And you got to say, the 9-7-6, this is how they're going to line up next year. You know, this is their second last game for the year. So they're their central attacking players, and they just haven't put a big enough stamp on the game. The Bulldogs' last home match of the season, they're against the Titans away this time next Sunday. Let's see if they can finish off big here. Plenty of Canterbury fans that turned up today to watch them. Second half underway, and Cherry Evans goes short. Oh, Canterbury end up with the ball. It was a beautifully veiled piece of work by Cherry Evans, shaping the kick long, then kicked short. They all waited, and Harper sort of more or less overran the ball a touch.
Yeah, a little bit like the no-look pass, isn't it? The no-look kick from Cherry Evans. Tries to come up with something for his team to start the second half.
Could maybe contest the push. Ball playing the ball on halfway. Now Pengai, Sexton pushing along. Just some numbers that you'd be a little concerned about first half. For the Army kick-out we saw, and we know he hasn't played a lot of football, but only the 4 runs. And for Manly, Ola Kuatu's only had 2 runs for 14 metres on the right side. We built it as, you know, an absolute blockbuster clash. And the two barely had a run at each other in the first half.
Well, sometimes if you're not getting the ball's not coming with you. You're going to go and looking for it, especially in your own half. You can't just sit out on your edge and wait for the ball to come to you.
Canterbury with Pengai. Last tackle, Canterbury. Scored the first try of the match. Here's Burton, kicks low. Manly have it covered. And it is Cherry Evans who comes up with a ball. And then Ockenbaugh ropes him in. Let's go down to the sideline. Matty Russell.
Anthony Seibold was disappointed with his side's flat start to the first half, but pleased with the way they ground their way back into the contest and started to win the arm wrestle. He said we need to start this second half like we finished the first. As for Cameron Ciraldo, he said build pressure at the back end of the sets much better, tighten the middle and go back through the middle.
Silvos Trbojevic, and then for Bullymore. And Kumtung remains out there to start the second half. Now, Arthur for Ben Trbojevic. Ben's probably looked as dangerous as any forward out there today, to be honest.
He's poked his nose for you a few times, hasn't he?
That's a good kick. Cherry Evans had a car on it. Not quite burnt in areas, but it was spiralling down to the Bulldogs winger. And then Burton. I think it almost goes without saying. Canterbury score first to get everyone back in the game. The team grow in confidence, the crowd to get excited, but if they lose touch, we've seen it before this end of the season, teams down the bottom of the ladder, once they lose touch, it can get very ugly. Here's Marnie just inside the Manly half, some claim of high there. Bullymore was the defender. Now Sexton, Edwards. Down he goes. Last tackle, not a whole lot thrown at Manly there. Back for Burton. To Bomb, to Kohler, who, while having some errors in the main, there's been more good than bad from Tolu Kohler at fullback today.
Andrew Kikau's not even out there. I mean, with the amount of runs he had in the first half, he couldn't be out of breath or anything like that. You've got to get him out there. He's your strike player. Sitting on a bike there, pedalling down to Wollongong.
It's his fourth game back. He had only the 4 hit-ups and 8 tackles in his first stint. So now Manly, away from their 30. Aaron Woods. Able to stay on his feet. Away for Cherry Evans. Got it away from the 40. Low and hard, and then bounced up nicely for Perham to come up with a ball for Canterbury. Good chase from Manly, and they've got Canterbury deep inside their own half. Burton and Addo-Carr across to Wilson. So winger passing the winger. Again, I'll say it, there's no way Addo-Carr's 100% today. Which is a shame, because you'd like to think that he could deliver a long-range try, perhaps. That's sort of the box that Canterbury are looking for at the moment, the fans are. Something's got to come out of the blue here. King with the run. Inside the Manly half. Now Marnie away for Sexton. Another bomb. This one out Vaenga's way. He's ready for it. He does well in front of the oncoming traffic. Averillo hasn't been much of a factor either today. Moved to right centre. There hasn't been a whole lot of creative attacking play. So the potential's there, but finding a way to unlock it is the problem. Trbojevic on another run. Ben's had 8 hit-ups. He's headed towards 100 metres now. This time with Jake, Cherry Evans, Olakuatu. They're on him. He left Burton behind there. That does count as his third run of the day. Kick from Arthur. So they're just going set for set at the moment. Now Wilson to bring it back for Canterbury.
There's no one really winding up and running on the ball as hard as they can. Just going through the motions at the moment. I know both sides can't make the semis, but you've got to show some sort of enthusiasm.
So this time with Pengai. Kick. Can a Pengai offload be one of the keys? Marty. Here he is, Pengai. Passing short of the line for Sexton. Flat across the line. Manly's defence good. Ben Trbojevic that time. Marnie, there's Pengai through the centre. One bump, one offload. Second phase for Canterbury. That's better. And Perham on it. And as a result, they make 20 metres on the play. Last tackle, the Bulldogs. Marnie, Burton to Bomb. He's got Wilson. He's got Averillo chasing. Here they come. And Vaenga ends up with a ball. 2 Canterbury players ended up on the deck. Parker offloads. Kohler can run. Off he goes and up over halfway. Still going now. Tolu Kohler kept it alive. Bulldogs all came to a stop. Manly could spread it and score. There's only 4 Canterbury players onside. Harper doesn't get the bounce. He got a bludger of a bounce, in fact, Morgan Harper.
What about Cherry Evans just seeing the space out there? It's a terrible bounce there. Vaenga, what about him to start there? It was a great take into the sun, and off he went.
And Bullymore now 10 metres away from the line. Canterbury go from having a chance to having defend, and they don't have any defence. Olakau'atu strolls over. He's barely got a mark on his jersey, but he's got a 4-pointer next to his name.
Yeah, he's got soft hands. Why wouldn't you run off Cherry Evans? It was all started with Kohler at the back end. It was a beautiful take from Vaenga, and off he went. Look at the support play here from the Manly team. Beautiful pass. Here he goes. Look at him in full stride. What a shot that is. Marnie doesn't give up on the chase. He beat 3 more tackles after he stood still. And they went to the right-hand side, and this is the finish of it. Look at this with soft hands. Straight at the front rower there. He picked him out there, Daly Cherry Evans. Straight at Max King. Just got him interested to make the tackle. Olakau'atu won't score an easier one than that. Straight over to open the scoring for Manly in the second half.
Yes, so Canterbury from having chance at the other end and almost blink of the eye stuff, they find themselves down by 14 and potentially 16. Olakau'atu getting the try. As we highlighted, has played 80 minutes in every game, but not necessarily every minute of every game.
Well, he would have scored a couple of plays before that with Cherry Evans. A crossfield kick for Harper. It was just the bounce. Evaded him. If it bounces into his arms, he scores under the posts. Another long-range try for the Manly team. They've gone the length there.
Cherry Evans, he's had a few at the post today. He's got that one. And Manly's lead is handsome with 31 minutes to go, 16 points.
He's a big presence to Olakau'atu in his 5th season of NRL, but his 3rd regular season. And in those 3 regular years, he's played more than 20 games. He's gone 8 tries, 10 tries last season. That's his 9th for this year. So he's very much a try-scoring edge forward. But you're right, Andrew, this goal line defence from the Bulldogs, flimsy at best. It's terrible. And there's another example of it. Straight after this, we're off to Newcastle. Knights Sharks, a beauty at a sold-out McDonald Jones Stadium to round out round 26.
31-6 it was back in round 1. Manly beat the Bulldogs, so the meter ticking over at 53-12 combined so far. Still a lot of time left. How ruthless could Manly be? Jake Trebojevic on that run. Tung for Cherry Evans. Olakau'atu. Over halfway he goes. Big frame, then was stripped of the ball. And play on the call. Well, not having his best day, is he? Amoli Olakau'atu to try score. The ball pitched. Canterbury with it on halfway.
He looked like he broke a couple of tackles there, straight through. One-on-one, Burton comes away with the steal. The Bulldogs, they get back to throwing the ball around like they did in the first 15 minutes.
Marty, Sexton for Burton. This time for Ockenbaugh. And onto his back. 35 away, but 4 tackles up for the Bulldogs. Then right side, Edwards and Sexton. Lost there by Perham on the roll to Wilson. He'll back himself, chip over the top, and it skews sideways. And into touch from Blake Wilson.
Yeah, well, something to cheer about there for Wilson. Just scooped the football up along the ground. Kick, a little chip over the top, come off the side of his boot. That was the problem there, but he's trying something a little bit different.
Reed, work me on the 10, front footy up. Let's go when you're ready, mate.
It's 22-6 scoreline. We saw yesterday the Tigers score first, and that was it. Canterbury today score first. Let's hope that's not it for them. Dragons scored only the one try against the Warriors, so the bottom three clubs battling away. Now Woods with it for Manly. Canterbury would love a Manly mistake here. Jankum Tung for Trebojevic. Reminder, game 200 for Jake is Friday night. Let's pack the joint out. 4 Pines Park for a genuine local hero. It is Wayne Pearce areas. You played with Wayne, Balmain boy. Jake is Manly from head to toe.
Yeah, you're 100% right. What is he? He's 200. Cherry Evans tries to go again.
The 200 game for Jake Friday night. If you can't get there, you can watch it exclusive and live here on Fox League, the 6 o'clock game Friday night. And this time there's a strip. Perham loses the ball. Jankum Tung comes up with it for Manly. The Sea Eagles on a roll. Bullymore through the centre. The Bulldogs defence needs to aim up right now. Arthur was stepping. Bullymore's got another touch. Canterbury defenders brushed out of the way. Edwards ended up on his backside. Manly with Cherry Evans looking for a 5th try. He gets a kick. He's found the hole. It's there. And then just out of reach, Raymond could have had a double.
Yeah, for Younger, I don't know whether he was onside there. It would have been interesting to see. The ball bounces away from him. He got there awfully quick. Cherry Evans again summing up the situation. Little grubber kick in and behind. All the defenders for the Bulldogs were up. Smart play.
He took one look sideways, then bang. A couple of Cherry Evans kicks could have produced 2 tries, but the bounce of the ball hasn't favoured Manly. And Canterbury are back with it 10 metres inside their own half. Marty to Burton to Kickow, who flicked it along under pressure there from Saab. That was good work from Saab. Now Kickow. Ockenbaugh takes the settler on play number 4 for Canterbury. And Marty kick before the last, but it's from inside halfway. Not so sure about that. Kohler to bring it back for Manly.
Well, the chase wasn't that hard there from the Bulldogs. Kick and hope there from Marnie. Trying to pin the Sea Eagles on their own goal line, but they're nearly up over the 30 already.
So he's had his first stint. He made 11 tackles in that time on the field. He might get some more minutes later. Now Trebojevic, Cherry Evans away from Burton. Days like today, you watch Daly playing, you think he could still play when he's 40. Well, that would fall to Jake Trebojevic, allowed to continue. Last tackle Manly. Croker, Arthur, Bomb, chases here. Perham underneath it. Parker, they let it bounce. All of them let it bounce. Manly with a bad back. Play on Sea Eagles. Still the last tackle. Now we've got a penalty to the Bulldogs. Croker called out there.
Gee, it's your job as a back 3 man, isn't it? To call for the ball and try at least attempt to catch the ball on the full. It's a couple of times that the Bulldogs are allowed the ball to bounce.
Big kick, big kick. They're not going to find the line. Oh dear. Manly with it. The kick was what was that? Let me do the maths quickly. About 60 metres. Didn't find the sideline. Olakuadu. And now Manly have to play one inside the Canterbury half. A tough afternoon for Bulldogs fans. Could get tougher now. Cherry Evans away. Saab support. He won't need him. Yes, he will play till he's 40. He might be the first one to play till he's 50. He is not missing a beat. At 34, the Queensland captain, the Manly captain, Daly Cherry Evans.
Well, it shows what a competitor he is. We mentioned it before the game. Cherry Evans always gives 100%. The skipper, the leader of this Manly side. He's been their best player all year, and he's been their best player this afternoon. Nothing to play for. Just shows what a footy player he is. He sprints away 40 metres to score. Marcus overread the dummy thrown. He's got great instinct. Daly Cherry Evans just skipped away. And Manly now doing it in a canter.
Yeah, and I'm not being flippant about that. I'm saying injury-free. Hasn't had, major injuries, nothing wrong with the knees, the shoulders for Cherry Evans. His play now, and State of Origin proves it, the biggest stage, he is still up to State of Origin. So he handles this. I don't feel there's any sort of behind the scenes, doesn't train light. He's always been the thorough professional. He's a leader. Steps up today as replacement goal kicker. I don't see him retiring anytime soon.
How old is he now,
He's
Andrew?
34. I'm not looking at the birth certificate. If he was off contract now, I'm throwing 3 years in front of him. Wouldn't you? You're not throwing a one-year deal at him.
Well, you know what it is too. If he's off contract now and Manly didn't want him, nearly every other club in the competition would go for him, wouldn't you? He might even play 5'8" next year.
Here he is, Daly Cherry Evans, starring role for Manly today. He's the best player out there. That's all you can say. And he's got another 2 points. Sea Eagles in total charge against the Bulldogs.
What a privilege it is, Andrew, to sit sideline and watch Daly Cherry Evans. NRL game, 304. On top of that, 22 Origins, 18 Internationals. And you're right, at 34 years of age, playing as well as ever. When these teams met in round one, seems an eternity ago. Daly Cherry Evans was kicking a field goal. He scored 3 tries. Another try today takes him to 10 against the Dogs. The only club he scored more tries against, West Tigers.
You didn't have to add that, Matt.
Yeah,
Stephen's got
Just for
feelings,
Stephen.
Matt.
I'm nearly
He's got
in
feelings.
I'm sponsored by Kleenex.
Manly coming back with Bullymore, 28 points to 6. And what hurts Canterbury, we had to show the failure to find touch from the penalty. And Manly scores straight after it. So Cherry Evans at the moment, 13 points in round one. And he's got 12 here this afternoon, so it's a healthy tally. There's nice hands there by Harper on the low pickup. And there are signs they will absolutely look to put Canterbury to the sword here, the Sea Eagles. You're out of finals contention, why not throw it around? I mean, I'd have the same advice for Canterbury at the moment, but Manly, 28-6, Croker and Woods. Confronted there by Marnie and kick out. Kick out trying to get hold of the ball there. Last tackle to Cherry Evans again. This time, kick low, right to the corner. Perfect set from Manly. You have the Bulldogs running out of a corner. They're under massive scoreboard pressure. Adokar with it. Bulldogs on their 20. Need a speed man like Avarillo to get in. Burton cross with Marnie, and he does give Avarillo his chance. Cross then further for Wilson. Manly good defence across the width of the park. And in 4 tackles, they're only back to their 30. Canterbury, Sipley ready to come back on. The 2 starting front rowers very good today, Sipley and Kepi. Here's kick out for the Bulldogs, then for Adokar. And Harper on him. Last tackle, Canterbury. And this time, Adokar stays down. And Lamotti has some advice for the sideline official. Well, we can have a little look at it. Here's Josh Adokar. Harper onto him.
Might have got a poke in the eye by the look of it there. I don't think there was any real intent there from Harper. An accident. That's how they've seen it.
Last tackle, Canterbury. We'll have something worked out here. Nerton gets a high ball. I mean, even that wasn't good from Canterbury. Alamotti threw it like a missile at his kicker. Manly with it 25 metres out from their own line. 5 tries to 1. Trailed 6-0 early. And have dominated on the scoreboard since. Took them a while to get going. That's telling a truthful account of the first half. But once they have got going, 8 line breaks later, they're having a few problems with the Canterbury defence. Croker. And then Cherry Evans left. Someone not happy with the pass. Canterbury have come up with it. Wilson got it away. Here's Averillo. He'll sprint away and score for Canterbury. Well, I don't know who to put the try assist down to, whether give it a DCE. But Canterbury have managed to get a 4-pointer, not necessarily by their own doing.
Well, you call for it, Andrew. Up the short side again. Daly Cherry Evans misfired with the pass that time. They scooped the ball up. I think it's Wilson. Off he goes. Gives the ball to Averillo. You've been calling for it. Sloppy pass there. Wilson scoops the football up. Averillo right on song. The chase there, not good enough to make the tackle on Averillo, the speed man. Finally, the doggies, after a mistake from Manly, get their first try in the second half. Away he goes. Good shot, that one. He can run. He can motor. Averillo gets a try for the Dogs.
All right. It doesn't matter how it's come about. They've got one on the board. Turn it into something. On the next set, Averillo, their leading try scorer for the year, and I don't think that'll be challenged. 28-10. Burden to get them back 16 down. Got one, now get another. Canterbury fans get a glimmer of hope. Stacks of time, 19.5 minutes. Canterbury back on halfway with a little committee meeting. Kick successful. 28-12, Bulldogs against Manly.
Jake Averillo, great to watch. He's wearing number 1, but playing in the centres today. He and Reid Marnie, the only Bulldogs to play in every game this season. As you touched on, Andrew, he's their leading try scorer with 12. A Bankstown Sports junior, a Canterbury junior, but he's out the door after 4 NRL seasons as a Bulldog. He's bound for the Dolphins, and Steve Roach, I reckon he's bound for big things under Wayne Bennett at the Dolphins.
Well, I think you're 100% right. If you have a look at who they've bought so far, now the Dolphins, they've bought better than anyone in the NRL. And there's another man they can add to it. Averillo, Farnworth, Flegler, those sort of guys. They've done well. I'm sure that you'll see him play some great open football with Wayne Bennett. It's a good signing. I can't believe the Dogs have let him go.
So Averillo, has he got pockets in his shorts to put the wrapper on that protein bar, whatever he's having there, for sustenance for Canterbury? Manly with Cherry Evans, 28-12. Canterbury fans want to see more. They want to see a big set. Liam Knight with a ball and good defence, Manly. Their objective was to keep Canterbury scoreless in their second half. Now King signs on the first 2 tackles in defence from the Sea Eagles. Thompson. All right, there's a little more energy in the running here. The defence has picked up a notch as well. Kick out with a ball for Canterbury. This is better. Rolling up over the 30-metre line. So a switch has been flicked. King on play 5. Almost back to halfway, the Bulldogs. Marnie to Burton. Burton goes long. Gee, he'd like to have that touch finder from the penalty again, wouldn't he? Kohler underneath it. 22-12 now to be absolute game on. Manly in possession, 15 away from their own line.
And they showed how easy it can be. The Bulldogs, they've got some power forwards in their football side, and they give away a penalty early in the tackle count. And that's a lot better there from kick out. I know I've pointed him out because he's a wonderful player. Tries to be a ball player too much. Just get back and run onto the ball. Those offloads will come if you can break tackles. Don't try and pass before the line.
The Canterbury bench, Kyle Flanagan's on his feet. I don't know if he's had the call or he's just trying to let the coach know I'm ready. He's got the ball in the hand and still yet to see any game time for Canterbury. If they've got any sort of, change in point of attack, he might be the man to come on at 28-12. Manly looking to snuff out any chance of a comeback in this set. Sibley back on, had some brilliant touches in the first half, including a try, albeit from the forward pass. Arthur then on to Kepi. Cowd rushed out of the line there. Manly inside, the Bulldogs 30. Arthur, Olakuatu cut in half in the tackle. Lovely low effort by King. Now Croker, Arthur slid into the defence. 4 tackles up for Manly. The call is to shift it left. Cherry Evans with it. Here they come. Kohler takes on the defence and got through the front line, through the tackle there of Waddell. Last tackle, Manly. Croker back. Cherry Evans to kick right across field. The leaper's there. Harper got it, lost it. Knock on Manly.
Gee, I think they're saying that the Bulldogs have knocked the football on here.
No, he's got Manly on the Kawatu, so Canterbury will play it. Out of all that.
Let's have a look at this set, what they do now. That last set that the Bulldogs had, they just marched upfield, nearly on the halfway line easily, just by simply rolling the sleeves up.
And now they've turned it over Canterbury. It was lost by Wilson. Kepi comes up with it for Manly. No sustained pressure from the Bulldogs. And now there's defensive pressure aplenty. With 16 to go and 16 the difference. Arthur and Croker. A reminder, Knights and Sharks to come. Cherry Evans almost put Harper away. Try saver kick out. That was a beauty. Oh, then had a dummy half. Croker, he had them look up. He's just wrestled his way over the line. Cherry Evans is pointing, trying to sell it. It's a try.
He couldn't possibly have scored there.
No try.
Referee has no try, but he looks pretty confident. He's met his teammates, certainly, whether they're just doing a sell job here.
Well, he's not in his head like he's scored here, Croker.
So we're going to determine if Lachlan Croker grounds the ball in the in goal.
They're trying to reef the ball away, hold him up if he can, and then...
It's a try.
My word, that's a try.
Lachlan Croker retains possession and grounds the ball in the in goal. Have a decision.
There you go.
You talk about flimsy on-goal defence. We saw that in the first half a couple of times from the Dogs. Nothing's improved.
Well, Matt Russell highlighted right from the start of the game their defensive average, 31 points a game this season. They've conceded 30 points now 14 times this season, at least 30 points in a game 14 times. So they're a week away from going on an off-season break, and then I guess get together Melbourne Cup week, first week of November, back into it.
Maybe a bit earlier.
Where their players will be involved in representative football post-season, of course, post the NRL season. What a good tackle it was. I mean, at least there was one kick-out stop on Harper. I thought he was going to score off Cherry Evans for sure. But in the end, 32-12, it's big. There's still 15 to go. Good player. Won their Player of the Year last year, the Roy Gall medal, Lachlan Croker. You know, he showed us today. I mean, the extra string to his bow, the 40-20s. He's kicked 4 of them this year.
Underrated defender around the middle. He whacks blokes.
Over to Cherry Evans. Yet another goal for Daly Cherry Evans this afternoon. He's kicked 5 of them, 34-12.
51 missed tackles from the Bulldogs last week, 35 and counting today. Too easy again for Manly, and this tale of woe in terms of points conceded, tackles missed, continues for the Bulldogs. Next up, we're off to Newcastle Knights against the Sharks, and next weekend, what a round, man. Every game on Fox League, 6 of the 8 games next week set to have a bearing on the top 8. What a great race it's been. The climax coming on Fox League.
Yeah, and today, I mean, Newcastle have been so good to watch. It's not just winning, it's a brand of football.
Yeah, they've been playing good,
in front of full house. And Cronulla now back in form. It's a perler, should be.
Well, you like me, Andrew, I can't believe the way that they have gone, the Newcastle Knights. Just waiting for something, a hiccup, mightn't happen.
Cherry Evans, Kawadu, Manly's away again. Kohler's got Saab coming up. Here comes Saab. Sound the Saab alarm. A sports car sprints away. Way too good, Manly. Way too good there. Playing at a level Canterbury cannot possibly match.
Oh, what a try. Just sit back and enjoy this one. We've mentioned a number of times they can score long-range tries, this Manly team. Olakawatu back on the inside. Look at this bloke explode in the broken field. Saab positioned himself beautifully back on the inside. And I don't know how you can stop that. Explosive speed. Thompson it was who missed the tackle on the inside, but just got done for pace. Once Saab got the football, didn't even break into a full length stride there. Look at the smile on the face.
Yeah, what about Kohler's numbers now? 279 run meters and 10 tackle busts. 3 line breaks, 3 try assists for, as Matty Russell put it, their 4th choice fullback.
When he keeps playing like that, he won't be the 4th choice. You've got to have depth if you're going to go well in the premiership. Well, they'll be looking to next year now, the Manly side, after a great start to the season. They fell in a hole there for a while. And that was just great to watch. I don't reckon many sides would have been able to defend that.
Well, now Canterbury back in goal. Their last home game for the year. Off to the Gold Coast next week. Cherry Evans, he'd kicked 7 goals for the season before today. He might outdo that tally in one match. His points tally alone against the Bulldogs is huge this year.
Andrew, how good is it watching sheer speed? Locker, look at this. Twice today, it's been Kohler to Saab, 2 gifted athletes. You ran through Tolu Kohler's fantastic numbers today. He's only playing fullback for the 3rd time in his NRL career. He lost the first 2 with the number 1 on his back. He's going to win the third time lucky in a big way.
Daly Cherry Evans, by the way, now has 29 points for the year against Canterbury. And Parker off a short kick-off. Manly's away again. This is like kids' footy. Manly ripping the Bulldogs apart here. The short kick-off, and they almost scored from the Sea Eagles. Set, restart. Cherry Evans. Here comes Saab. Just too long. It was going to be another one.
Well, they could have had 3 tries from crossfield kicks had the bounces been in favour of the Manly side. Great vision again from Cherry Evans. Ball bounces away from Saab.
I think Saab's a bit tired of the previous run. He might have just been on his heels a little. Here it was. Yeah, he's not. Yeah, it's only at the last moment he reacts. He wasn't walking in with a bowler like he meant to do in cricket there. Jason Saab, 40 points to 12. Manly showing the enterprise. Canterbury, the match way out of their reach now. Marnie and Sexton shut down by Parker. They tackle on Marnie, and there's some push. Seen a bit of this weekend. Just keep your heads away, boys. Certainly for the Manly players, there's a trip to Vegas on the line here. I want to give that away.
Well, Marnie trying to take on, is it Kepi, is it? He's about 2 foot taller than him. You'd have to get on a step ladder.
Just get a mark for us, Jerry.
If you're not up with the news, Jared Wadia-Harger is facing a 6-game ban. So, Roosters would just about have to make the grand final for him to serve all his games this year, or serve 5 of them. So, Manly with just 1 regular season game to go. Hopefully they can go anywhere on with it there. Matt Burton's found the line, and some of the fans are happy about that.
It was a funny one from Jared yesterday, wasn't it? I mean,
oh, yeah.
The Roosters were in front by 18 or whatever. Why would you do it?
Yeah, they were 18 in front. Oh, now Canterbury, not again. Play 1. Poor old Bulldogs fans. They've got another 10 minutes to get through. They're only tried the second half of a Manly mistake. Cameron Ciraldo disgusted with what he's seen there. It's fallen apart. Their defence is ragged. Sea Eagles, Trebojevic, Arthur out wide. Coleman to Parker, yes!
What a beauty.
Great shot by Wilson. That's good. That was so clean. He's out there now. First football he's out today. Watch his tackle. Good shot. Manly's through again. Manly's away. Cherry Evans. He's into the 30s for the season against Canterbury. He's got 5 tries against the Bulldogs this year. It's Cherry Evans, 5 tries to the Bulldogs, 3.
And I think it's Kepi that finishes this one or starts it. I'm a big fan. I think it is Kepi that goes straight through. And what a pass there. Cherry Evans supporting. As I said, he's got this wonderful knack of being at the right place at the right time. There's Kepi back on the inside, just breaks a fimble defence there, straight through. Cherry Evans on the spot again, kicks the ball into the crowd.
Oh dear, oh dear. Right through the centre. Waddell, the offender there on the missed tackle count. Cherry Evans hat-trick in round 1, double in round 26, and the goal kicker as well. Now, they're going to review this. They may be saved here, Canterbury.
Just want to go back and check the lead runner. Doesn't stop in the line and deny an opportunity.
So they might be saved big time here. They go on the inside to
Toff simply is in front of the ball at this point and prevents Liam Knight from being able to come across. Sean Kepi takes advantage by running
that
through
has
the gap.
saved the blushes of Corey Waddell, because Corey Waddell's one-on-one miss.
Penalty here.
Liam Knight ain't stopping that try. And it's taken away from Cherry Evans. He still scored more tries than the Bulldogs in head-to-head games this year. According Chan Kum Tung found it all funny. Canterbury 40-12. Can Josh Addo-Carr get a try or something? He's without one since round 14, as we highlighted. The Bulldogs, this left side attack, you've got to get excited. There's Burton, there's Kickout, there's Addo-Carr. Here's Burton, on it comes from Perham to Addo-Carr, who again doesn't sprint to the corner. Comes back in field.
I was just watching him in stride there as he ran onto the football. He's battling a leg injury for sure, Addo-Carr.
Sexton, quick hands along, Waddell, offend. He's beaten the defence, support inside. The Bulldogs have got one. Flanagan on and scores a try for Canterbury. Well done to Kyle.
Yeah, he's only been on a couple of minutes, Kyle. Support's back on the inside. Waddell with the break. And he'll enjoy that.
We might see 5 tries on the last 8 minutes, you know. If this is the standard of defence, one-on-one misses, there's a fend. Chualangi pushed away. Now Canterbury score. 40-16.
40-16.
See, I thought it'd be like a 36-30 game today, as Burton will kick. The big one awaits, though, in Newcastle, as Canterbury now have 3 tries on the board. But the Knights and the Sharks is a cracking game to finish the round. A sold-out McDonald Jones Stadium again.
Come on, give us a tip. What do you reckon?
Golden point. Golden point, Steve. Overtime here on Fox League and Sunday night with Matty Johns.
Beautiful. I'm happy with that.
There they are warming up. Plenty of experience on show. No Nico Hines today for Cronulla. But they've found winning form again. Newcastle on this 7-game run. And it's a perfect winter's afternoon. 40 plays 18, 7.5 to go. I think there is the ability to score at least 2, if not 3, if not 4. In the close to this game, Amarillo catches the kickoff. So Bulldogs with Liam Knight on the 30. So Flanagan in that dummy half roll coming onto the field. Here he is offloading to kick out. Now the left side away again. Kick out through. Support inside. Even attacking before he got the ball there. It's a closely run thing. I must say the support player Flanagan has given the Bulldogs a different dynamic to their attack. Over the top. Perham to Wilson. Bulldogs. Bulldogs. Yes. Sexton over. Lock it in, Eddie. There'll be 4 tries scored. Here we go. Set after 100% four-pointer after four-pointer.
You can put it down to the run on the left-hand side from kick out, the quick play the ball. They shift it to the right. What an exciting player he is in a badly beaten side all season, Blake Wilson. There's the kick out run to set it up. Thought he might have been tackled without the ball, Flanagan, but Sexton gets a try on the end of it. Second man play, they get him for numbers. Beautiful cutout pass. And watch this man, Wilson. Great pass, Sexton. Supports back on the inside. He's the man that started it. And he finishes it off. The Bulldogs go back to back.
Now to make it 40-24. That's what it is. It's inside. 3 converted tries, the difference. The crowd liven up. Matty Russell down on the sideline. You believe in miracles or not?
I believe in miracles, but this one might be just out of reach of the Bulldogs. Let's hope there's more points before we go to Newcastle against Cronulla. You're tipping Golden Point, Andrew. I want to know what the great tipster Steve Roach thinks is going to unfold next at McDonald Jones Stadium.
Oh, I think they'll keep rolling on the Newcastle Knights. Big crowd behind them. Tough game, but the Knights for mine.
Smile's gone from Daly's face after the disallowed try. Canterbury have now scored 2. 40 plays 24. This is more like the scoreline we anticipated. You're going to need a wide screen to keep all those tries on. And we've had 3 in the last 7 minutes. We've got 6 to go. Kick hard. Oh, Canterbury knock it over the sideline. Well, it's all happening. It's all happening. So Manly get a result from the kickoff.
I often wonder from kickoffs why they don't hit the ball that hard and try and find touch. McGrubber style type kick from the kickoff. Jerry Evans tries it. He's tried a couple of different things here this afternoon.
Yes. By the way, if they're giving away Frank Hide-Sako watch today, Daly's got one. He's man of the match.
He did one for each hand the way he's played.
Now, Sipley. 40 plays 24. It's Manly's turn to score. And a Changkum Tung, is it? Seagulls on the Bulldogs line. That'd bring the fan club, the house down, wouldn't it, if he scores. Now Arthur, back through the centre. Do we have 4 tries in 8 minutes? And then still have 4 to play. We have 6 in the last 12. Manly, Cherry Evans, here's the kick. Kick out back there, kick out. Ooh. He almost lost it too.
Gee, that's a big tackle on a big man like that. Kick out. Normally you would think he'd get in the in-goal or back in the in-goal easily.
Look at the Bulldogs reset for the short dropout. They just want to get it going. Kick out saved, got straight to his feet. Bulldogs go short. It has to go 10. It's not going to go 10. That is such an anti-climax.
Please don't shoot at goal. You've got nothing to play for.
No.
Let's go.
Exactly. Referee Kennedy, if they say we're going for goal, he should
say no,
not allowed.
take the tap. No,
not allowed. I'll take the tap for you.
Please don't point at the post, Jerry.
That's it.
Please don't. No! He is. He's not.
No. The referee has to step in if he does this.
It's 40-24. Take the tap.
Get Volandis on the phone. We're lodging a complaint. He's going to go for another 2, Daly Cherry. No, he's going to give it to Gordon. Changkum Tung. I changed my mind.
Go on, son.
That's a great decision.
Go on.
Here we go.
Oh, how embarrassing. I can't watch, Andrew.
GCKT.
I can't watch.
For a GOAL. Big smile on his face. He's looking up at the board. Here he goes. Gordon! Bangs it over.
Well done, son.
The cheer squad go up. Gordon Changkum Tung scores his first points in the NRL.
Ah, what a skipper.
How good's that?
Gives him a shot.
How good is that? And it's down the end where the support crew is. Have a look at him. They've never seen Gordon kick before.
Do you reckon the score might, or the story might grow over the next 20 years?
Lovely style. Now Bulldogs, short kick off again. 42-24. Don't think the point scoring is finished. Still time for a couple of tries. Talk about a game come out of its slumber. The last 10 minutes, it's been action end to end. Maybe they're all excited. They're going back to the dressing room, Seahawks. to watch the Fox League coverage of Knights and Sharks. They've livened up. It's big. Chen Kum Tung there now for Croker. And then Arthur delivering short. Chualangi held up for Manly. Still a chance for 50, aren't they, Manly? Yes, they are at 42-24. Now on short side, Arthur and Chen Kum Tung there offloading for Croker. Then back with Sipley. Offload over the top was good skill. The Seagulls on the last tackle. Is there a kick for Saab coming? Cherry Evans wants it. Here it is. He'll look for his big man. Oh, it floats over his head. And over the sideline. Could have been multiple tries off Cherry Evans' kicks today. The intention's been right.
They're going to challenge this. Saab thinks
the captain's challenge. Manly are challenging the decision of in a touch. I believe Josh Adokar runs an escort.
Oh,
yep.
I see.
That's what they're saying. Saab, it was a turnaround to his captain straight away and said, I was impeded on the way
Kick
through.
chases on the right are onside. Now looking at the actions of Josh Adokar.
Sounds a bit sleeping, Jared Sutton.
Josh Adokar is holding his position under the line of the ball. There is no escort.
But then where does he grab the ball? Where does he grab the ball?
He doesn't even go for it.
And there it goes over the sideline. So
the ball then goes into touch and further play. The challenge is unsuccessful.
Well, you ended up just leaving. You might as well play
Let's
it.
go.
So Canterbury with it. 2 minutes to go. Here's Thompson. 42-24. 7 tries to 4 at the moment. A perfect dozen, I think, is probably appropriate. Here's Marnie sweeping left. Burton's going to kick. Here comes the Fox. Back to himself. Adokar. He'll chip over the top. He'll chase. Here's the race. Adokar and Saab. Parker misses it. Bulldogs still a chance. No. Manly end up with a ball. Oh, they were coming from everywhere.
Well, how desperate they get back there. What about the chase from the Bulldogs? There was 3 Bulldogs players around, but Manly got themselves back there too. Back into the game. I think it was Arthur that dived on the ball to stop the try.
Oh, Josh Adokar, the kick. If he gets it straight over the head, I think he scores. The fact that it had the angle brought those other players into play coming from the far side of the ground. If you always wanted a match race, Adokar v Saab, we sort of had it there, and Adokar, we believe, not 100% fit. Cherry Evans was thinking 40-20. And there, fielded by Wilson. 42-24. Well, if we hadn't had the last 15 minutes for the whole 80, we'd probably be talking the match of the year, because there's been a hell of a lot happen in the last quarter of the game. Now Burton's chipped over the top. It's anything goes. Kohler comes up with it. Adokar will try and strip the ball. Burton's been left behind for Canterbury. He's still down, Matt Burton. He may have copped one in the head. Manly go, oh, then they're throwing a forward pass. Well,
it was a tunnel ball pass.
That'll do us. I don't think referee Kennedy's going to blow time off for the scrum. I think everyone's happy to say that will do. The Bulldogs' final home game of the year. Manly will head to 4 Pines Park after a victory and celebrate Jake Trebojevich's 200th on Friday night. Daly Cherry Evans a star here. Full time. Manly 42, Canterbury 24.